Hi there. All right, let's sew. I've kind of thought about doing a different direction to see if how that works. I know it's a little bit dark, but when I kind of change directions, see, you can see it just a little bit better than when the other direction. So what I'm going to start with is this. I know it's going to kind of go in and out when I'm up close. Um, this block first. So what I'm going to do is take this out and this out. Ah, everything's falling. All right, I'm going to set that right there. This side might not work, but we're going to try it. So when I'm putting this on, and there's a lot of sunlight, so I'm trying to battle that a little bit too. Okay, that's a little bit, okay, we kind of lit it up a little bit. All right, so what we're going to do is we are going to line up that triangle with that side on this hex, and I like to piece at 2.0, and we're just going to sew straight down. Super easy. Right, I don't like all these strings hanging down. Now I'm going to do the same thing to the exact other side. Going to line that up like that on the hex and just sew straight down. Line that up a little bit, and now we sew. Easy enough. All right, I am going to use, well, I don't need jack yet. Flip these out and use the bianny owl and little, oh, I can't think today. I'm pressing those seams down with a little presser edge. It's a flat edge on the other side. Some of y'all, I was doing this as a giveaway some of the months, so I know, I think a couple people have gotten one. I love them. I love this bianny stiletto tool. All right. It's light and it's ergonomic, and no, I don't have a sponsorship for this. I just absolutely love this. It, for sticking under the machine and everything. All right, so there is there's our middle piece. We're going to set that to the side. Now, the other two pieces to finish this block, I'm going to move over here. This one, you've got to make sure, that's why I have the project board, to make sure that I'm doing the right sides of these. Lining them up. This is one that I can kind of chain piece. And I don't need pens or anything, and it's going to go this direction. You definitely want to sew it to the right side. All right, trim a couple of these long pieces off and trim. Then we just open up and finger press, pretty much finger press these seams open. Last week it was real important to iron. Now I will say, when I get done with this block, I'll iron it. That way everything's just nice and flat for when we put those triangles on it. We gotta sew those triangles together. All right, looking at the pattern, we're gonna make sure we line it up right. E, this is E, and those are gonna those two triangles are gonna kind of meet like that. So very cute. Oops. Let's press that open a little bit. All right. Now we've got to get this seam to match up. Oops, kind of open it. So this is where they're going to cross, and you want the middle of this seam where you've opened it up to meet up with the tip of this flap on the other side. And that is going to line up those pieces. Just stick a pin in it, then make sure everything else is nice and lined up. This is where, you know, trimming those ends of the diamonds come into play. It keeps everything nice and lined up. Move that to the side. Pull my string around, and here we go. Okay, see how we did. Perfect. Love it. Really have to make sure you line those pieces up. So just make sure the two triangles are across from each other. Line up that center seam with that outer flap. Pin it in place. If you are a pinner, I found for these seams, it's nice if I pin it. All right, and we're gonna sew down this side. Make sure we're lined up. Okay, let's see how this side did. Turn off that piece. And did perfectly. I'm very happy with it. All right, I am going to press this open a little bit. Then I'm going to go hit it with an iron because I want this nice and flat. Oops. Just finger press. Looks gorgeous. All right, I'm going to hit it with an iron real quick. All right, there is the block. It looks a little bit better when it's on the board. Look how pretty that is. Really gorgeous. Okay, we'll do an overhead shot at the end so you can see it. Now we are going to tackle these triangles. And there's two pieces, two main pieces, and then you sew it together. Okay, I'm going to back up just a little bit so it's not struggling so much. There we go. Okay, so this triangle, you will sew this top together and you will sew this bottom together. And like I said, I like to do both of these at the same time. It just made it a little bit easier. So I'm going to take the bottoms. I'm going to do the bottom first. It fell off. Bottom over here. There we go. So first, I'm going to take the triangle and put it on the diamond because we want a nice straight line for this row. There's the one, and then we'll do this other one and line it up here. We're almost done with this one. It comes, I love how quickly these blocks actually come together in such a complicated manner. Not sewing it, but I mean, the design is complicated, but she made it easy for us. All right. I love how jeweled this one is. It's really, it really does remind me of a jewel. All right, so we finger press those out. All right, now we have to put, because remember, we want to do a straight line. We don't want it to end up like this. So we make sure it's in a straight line. This is where cutting that tip off of the diamond really comes into play, right? It really helps you line this up super nicely. All right, here we go. Line this one up, make sure I'm doing it right. All right. The bottoms of the triangles are done. Other than, you know, pressing it out a bit. Oh, come on. There we go. That one's open, and let's open this other one. So with this, I am going to want to, or you will want to, really press out like with an iron before you sew the top part of this triangle to the bottom part, because this is one of those fussy intersections. I can never get this one, but that's all right. That's all right. We're moving on. So this is really easy too. Here, I'll pull the board up so it blocks the light and you can see it better. We are going to be sewing this one to this side, this to this side to make that triangle, and then that fits on top of this one like this. And you have your full on triangle. And again, I'm going to do this the same time I do this. This one's already done. Okay. I'm going to pull it down here, set these bottoms to the side like this. I'm going to make sure we have everything looking the same. All right, we're matching. And one more. So a tiny bit of chain piecing, not a lot, but I am using a scant 1/4 inch. I don't think I've said that in a while, but I am using a scant 1/4 inch. I have a scant 1/4 inch foot, so. All right, press these out. Kind of a finger press for this is okay. Then we're going to run over to the iron and really press them nice and flat. I don't like that piece. Okay, there we go. And that long piece from the bobbin gets stuck up in the seam and it pulls on the fabric. I like to undo that. All right, there we go. Now we need to sew because we're making a triangle. So you have to think about it. Don't get confused. It goes like this, okay? Don't get confused. You'll be pulling Jack out. So make sure you've got your triangle. And line up your blocks. And here we go. Okay. We have got our triangles. Oh, I'll press it out. It'll make it easier to iron. I'm ready to head over there. Woo! Throw around our tools. Be careful with that. That's got a pokey. All right. For so many pieces, it's really coming together quickly. We've got all the loose pieces done. We sew these triangles. We've got 4 more, I call them sews. We've got 4 more sews. 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're done. All right, let's iron these out flat and start putting this together. Okay, everything's nice and ironed, and I am going to warn you, this is where I messed up piecing together last night, or not last night. And I messed up piecing these together. I was looking at it, and look, dark and dark and light. I messed up. All right, so we've got to get the seam ripper out. In my haste, it's so easy, and I've seen some of y'all, you've used Jack the Ripper. Even I have to. I'm not saying even, I have to quite a bit, really. And what I did in my zealousness, I took them down from the board, didn't keep them in the right colorway. And that's what happens. All right, so we've taken one off of there, and we've taken one off of here. And I'm just making sure they're opposite, because that's how they're on the pattern, they're opposite. So get that ripped out. Okay. All right, I'm going to iron this and resew it. Okay, getting all those threads out of the way. Makes it a little bit easier. I just use the end of this, and it kind of just swipes them away for me very quickly. All right, so my tops are good, right? That's good. The bottom here, one, let me get a little bit more of that out of the way. One needs the dark pretty much like this, the dark like this, and the other one needs the light like this. Yep, to make a cross. That is different from that, and that is different from that. All right, so let's fix this real quick and move on. Right. There we go. Okay, we've got it now. One of those things that happens. So 2 different colors and 2 different colors. Now we're good to go. I'm just going to take it to the iron and get it done real quick. All right, here we go. Now we've got it. Okay, so we have got to match up. Oops, right here. We've got to match those up. When you turn them over, let's see if we can see here. You've got those little triangles down there. Those have to match up perfectly. So I like to go down and then just kind of slowly adjust as I go. See, and they're matching right there, and that's really offset. There's not much of a seam allowance in that other one. All right, we're going to see what we can do. Okay, I'm going to pin that because that's where it works. And I'm going to be honest with you on these. I never match these up. These are always slightly off for me, is what it is. Okay. I'm going to go for it. I'll have to kind of sew and adjust. That side's lined up good. Now let's make sure this side is. Get the stiletto, pull through just a bit. Really stuff that under there. Okay, see how it turned out. I am not completely sure. Oh, so off. So off. I may redo that. That's really off. Eek. I don't love that. Again, this is the one that gives me the most fits. So let's see what we can do. Taking some of these stitches out. Thank you for someone who said, just take a few of the stitches out and reset it. Good idea. Let's see what we can do. Got to get it undone first. It's a little fussy. There we go. Now I've got enough. All right. So what happened? I wish I could sew over that pin. I know I cannot, but let's see what we can do. I'm going to hold it really, really tightly. If this didn't do it, I'm moving on. I try once. Well, it's right on top of each other. It's just I knew that one wouldn't be. So I'm going to let that go because I think that's good enough. It is right on top of each other, just that one didn't have much of a seam allowance. Don't know what happened there. All right. Now we're going to move on to the next one. Same kind of thing. Match up as best we can with that triangle there. And I think it just gets off. This one, yeah, so that line is really matching up there. Okay, we're going to try that, matching up that line real closely. And all right, here we go. See how this one does. This one had a better seam allowance on it. way to the end, hold it nice and tight. Set that edge. Okay. Maybe the other direction is better, even though it's a little tighter for me. I don't think y'all are seeing as much this time, but sorry about that. I'm trying. Probably an overhead would do best, and I just don't have that capability right now. All right. Let's... Beautiful. Oh my gosh. I think that's the most perfect one I've ever done. And that's just some from where we had to do Jack. All right, let's iron this out. I'm excited now. The rest of the sewing's not too bad. Okay, now we're almost done. Oh, that literally is the best one I think I've ever done. That is so cool. All right, loving it, loving it, loving it. So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna get my board. It lines up like that, and lines up like that. This one actually goes the other way. This goes like this. Yeah. Okay, now we've got it. That's our block. So we just sew this to this and this to this. We're matching up seams here and we're matching up seams here, but these are the easy seams. They're not too difficult at all. All right, get this out. This is the one where you match the middle of this seam, like straight down the middle, to the outer flap. Sorry, right there, the outer flap of this side. I'm gonna get, there we go, like that. A quarter in, perfect. I'm gonna pin it. Yep. Think I've got it. You know, you always are like, I got it. And then you do it and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm like 5 inches off. Not 5 inches, probably less than an eighth, but still, you know what I mean. All right, we pinned this side. We are almost done with sewing this. Oh my gosh, month 7, guys, month 7. Okay, get my foot back in the right place. And here we go. Everything went really smoothly, I think. Watch me so far off. And it's not, it looks great. It matched up perfectly. I'm so excited. So now half the block is done. Yay. I'm not even going to bother to finger press. We're just going to take it to the iron and make sure it's all nice and flat. I am making sure that I pin these and kind of match up those seams, the middle to that outer little edge. For some reason, that one works for me. It's that other one that just trips me up. This one's just kind of naturally going there, which that makes it nice. And the reason why it's probably naturally matching up is because we trimmed those points off, right? Okay, that one is a little off, but that's okay. I am good with that. Woohoo! We are done with block 7 and matched up. looks great. The points look great. Everything looks amazing. Here, let's put it on the block so you can actually see it. Looks perfect. All right, we are done. All there is left is really just to press it really nicely, and month 7 is done. So next week I will we'll talk about a few of the tips I have for this time, and yeah, so close. We are almost done.